Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Chicken's Blood. What happens when you give insanity direction?
Directed by Korey Jordan, starring Chuck Conry, Blaine Gilliam, Buffy Davis, and Nick Walluck as Happy. This movie is about a group of friends on their way to a wrestling event when their car breaks down in the bad part of town. Two of them are randomly abducted and taken back to a drug dealer's house. Unfortunately, this drug dealer and all of his friends and minions decided to torture a rival drug dealer who's now escaped from the hospital, coming inches from death to exact revenge. So what do we like? First and foremost, this is a micro-budget movie, so you need to kind of know that going in.
Oh my God, no!
It's a first-time director, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was better than the trailer suggested. The dialogue, I think, was the best part of this film. There was some pretty good jokes, and you can tell that they were just having a great time on set.
Nobody's gonna just leave their keys in the car, Allison. It's a miracle the window was
The
down.
windows were down?
I know, I'm shocked.
We had a very interesting cast. They were funny, especially John, who's played by Chuck Conry.
I cannot go to jail, okay? Because look, I can't fight, and I'm too ugly to fuck.
I know Chuck, he has a YouTube channel, and he has Zombies Don't Run. I have him on Facebook, and anytime I post a picture of myself, it tries to tag him in it, and I hate it. And we found out he did some of the camera work, he did some of the screenplay as well.
I mean, everyone did a decent job. Like, you could tell when there's like bad acting and then friends acting in your film.
Shout out to fucking Sheriff, the funniest character. I wish we had more on-screen time with him, but damn, he had me dying.
You could tell he was gonna crack up when he started putting the moisturizer on. You gotta know going into it, it's friends just having fun.
And, you know, there's even nods. I mean, they have Donald Farmer in here. Like, he's notorious for making low-budget movies. Cannibal Hookers initially rubbed me the wrong way because it didn't have any of the scenes from the back cover when we rented it back in the day. And to see him in this as like a small cameo, I thought that was funny.
I appreciated the practical effects they had. They really pulled it off. And even though you knew it was ketchup, you have a sense of appreciation for the effort they've done.
Including like the little trick where it's like, okay, we want to squash a guy's head, but how can we do that? Why don't we cover his head with a bag, then put a fucking melon or something in the bag, and then stomp on the bag? It's these little techniques, and especially for like a first-time director, I think that it shows promise because they can work with a budget and figure out how we can crush a head.
Yeah, you want to rip a dick off? Get a hot dog.
I got kind of hungry at that moment, though, to be honest.
I like the look of Happy, and he just had this like menacing look to him.
He had a clear direction of where he wanted to go, which is kill everybody who fucked with him. And he just dragged his axe so slowly, walking down the goddamn street till he found the next person. At times I didn't love it, but I thought he was an okay looking killer. Well, the cinematography is not the greatest. The actual shots were framed pretty decently. There's definitely problems when it comes to things being in focus and like shaky cam, and there's a lot of fucking shaky cam. But in most cases, when the shot wasn't super close up to somebody, things were framed correctly. Now, what didn't we like? I'm just gonna piggyback off that, I guess. Some people are gonna get very distracted by the shaky cam and the out of focus stuff, especially like in a car or even when somebody's just walking, holding the camera. Sometimes it's way too close. There's no reason whoever was on the camera couldn't have been like 5 feet back and shooting it wider, because you can always kind of crop in and get the framing that you want. It could have been the lens, it could have been just like the space that they had, but I mean, if you're outside, I don't think that there's a reason to be that close.
I feel as though the biggest issue in this movie is the story, because we really don't understand what is going on with the four friends, why they were kidnapped. What was their purpose for being intertwined with these drug dealers? Why was Happy killing them if he was only after revenge?
Happy doesn't care, he'll fucking kill you too. Cause you're fucking involved in it now.
We definitely didn't learn why those people were kidnapped. And it was strange because they were both very chatty. And then the moment that they're kidnapped, for no reason, they just never talk again.
And it was also a missed opportunity because you have this fighter, you have this professional wrestler who could have done some sweet wrestling moves to Happy or some of these drug lords.
But the main issue is the fact that we don't know why they were kidnapped in the first place. Like, one line of dialogue could have clarified and just kind of created an empty backstory because we didn't really need a lot. We just needed some kind of reason, and there wasn't one. Touching back on the killer, I didn't think he was that cool. It could have been the pointiness of his hood. I'm not too sure. My hood does the same thing, it's weird. It's not very scary. Pointy hoods are weird. And they always seem slightly racist. Sound effects could have been improved. So while we did appreciate the attempt at some of the practical effects, there are a lot of off-screen kills, and when you have off-screen kills, it's important to make sure that the sound effects sound like something cool is happening off-screen.
If anyone was going to punch someone, it wasn't like a natural punching sound effect.
Doing your own Foley would be better, probably. Like, punch a head of lettuce, you get the good crunch. Another point with audio that would have been like an easy fix is putting like a constant power or a constant gain across different scenes for the audio, because it seemed like hard cuts between different scenes, and if you just transition the audio a little bit, it helps with the editing.
This is the 5-time GCW World Champion, you backwoods motherfucker. Alright, he gets
Really?
We do that here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it never feels like a really hard cut.
I guess I should be really fucking scared then.
And on the other end, the visual transitions, the fade to black was overused in this film. There's other transitions that you can use to keep your audience interested in what's going on. It's like if someone was having a conversation and you're fading to black between them, it doesn't seem instant. It takes it away. And that's what like the fade to black does. It really drags out a passage of time when your film is just changing locations, not changing time.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Chicken's Blood was actually a pretty decent indie directorial debut. There are a lot of fun aspects about the movie and I was never bored whatsoever. I enjoyed our characters and I thought the comedy was pretty solid. However, there were definitely some amateur mistakes that come along with being your first film. The audio, the sound effects, and some of the editing could have been changed up, but most importantly, not having a solid reason as to why things are happening is the biggest downfall of this film. But I definitely liked the practical effects and just going out there and trying to do stuff that definitely seems a little bit over ambitious, but still being able to come out with some pretty solid kills. I'd be interested in seeing a sequel. But I don't think this is one of those movies that you have to rush out to see the first one for. So I'm gonna give this 1.5 versions of myself when I watch bad movies out of 5.
This is a film that you can have a lot of fun with and just sit back and watch with your friends because there isn't much to take in. It's a revenge story with a guy killing drug dealers who wronged him. There's a lot of good and bad with this film. You get some fun practical effects. The acting is decent. The cinematography is good. It does have some minor mistakes in it, along with the transitions, which can take you out of the film. But if you look past that, it's pretty fun. But it's also not the best story. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 2 wrestling costumes out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.